Hi, this is Raissa, and you're watching The Music Enthusiast.
Hey guys, it's Gracie from The Music Enthusiast, and today I'm here with Raissa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank
I
you.
love your music.
Thank you. Oh, I'm just happy people want to talk to me. It's cool. Yeah.
Um, I'll start with the questions. What made you want to get into music?
My parents are really big music fans. Like big fans. Like they would go like if an artist they love put out an album, like we'd go buy it, get in the car, listen to it like top to bottom, and then my parents would break down the lyrics to me and my brother. So I grew up in a household that really admired and valued artists and their work and stuff. So I think that definitely like made me aware of the fact that that was something you could do with your life. And I think when I was like 6 or 7, I kind of figured out that I wanted to perform for people. And then I shied away from that for a long time, even though I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I made music, I wrote songs, everything, but no one knew about it. And then when I was 18, I moved to London to go to art school, to go to university. And then that's when I had the moment of like, I can no longer hide from this or I'm going to be miserable for the rest of my life. So I think, I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, I think it was knowing it when I was really young, hiding from it, and then not being able to hide from it anymore. More was
Yeah.
how that
You
happened.
have a long history with music, obviously. Do you have a favorite musical memory that you can think of?
Favorite musical memory. So there's one. I've been asked a similar question before, so I'll give you two. I'll give you the one that I always give, and I'll give you a different one.
Okay.
But I have a memory of my dad and my mom for Christmas got me this box of this like box that had costumes in it, and then whenever people would come over for dinner, I must have been like 4 or 5, I would put on this like tutu sparkly outfit thing, and I would sing Keith Us by Celia Cruz, and then make people give me money, and they would give me like 5 cents, and I thought I was like the richest person on earth. So that's one. And then what's another musical memory that I have? I think when I was slightly older, I was at a music festival and Florence the Machine was performing, and I like it was the first time I saw a show that made me cry.
Wow.
Yeah, it was outside. It was in Budapest. It was in Hungary. It was called Ziget Festival. And I was there with my high school boyfriend and his friend, and we were like dancing, and I was like tearing up at how good she was. So I think that's a really good musical memory that I have. Florence and the Machine making me cry at her show. Yeah.
What has it been like for you starting out in such a competitive industry?
I think I try and like not look at it like I'm competing with anyone, because I don't think that's healthy for you, because then you're like, you're just like picking at yourself,
Yeah.
which I don't think is helpful. But I think that there's always room for anyone who's like has their own voice and their own perspective and really sticks to their guns. At least I hope so, because that's what I'm doing, and I'm hoping it works out. But yeah, there's definitely like there's good and bad elements to it. Like the industry part of it can be a little bit difficult for some. It's been difficult for me sometimes, but I think just having the perspective of I'm going to surround myself with people that make me feel good, and that like me because of me and like my work because they like my work, and then kind of not comparing yourself and not being in competition with other people, I think is the secret to, you know, slowly inching towards what you want
Yeah.
out of what you're doing. Um, yeah, I try really hard not to compare myself to anyone and to have normal friends. Like my best friend who's a teacher.
Aw. Speaking more on your music, how do you find inspiration for your songs?
So lately I've actually been I've been struggling a little bit. I've been hitting a bit of a brick wall, which happens every couple of months. I'll have like 2, 3 weeks where I just like can't. I try really hard and nothing good comes out. But when I do feel like I need inspiration, I'll call my friends, hang out with them. I'll watch like movies that have always kind of like had a special place in my heart. So I watch a lot of Studio Ghibli films. I'll I'm in Los Angeles, so I'll go to the beach, take a walk. I think just reconnect, like I'll remove my social media apps from my phone and try and like remove the stuff that I think is sucking energy out of me for no real like good reason. And then just also like taking the pressure off. I think just like messing around yourself and making a bit of music without anyone, so that the pressure of like making something good is kind of gone, and you're kind of, yeah, just doing what feels natural. And then you're like, oh wait, that actually was really good, and you can expand on that. I think I find my inspiration from, yeah, just treating myself like a human being and reminding myself that I am a human and that I should do things that feel good, you know.
Yeah.
That's right.
Your debut EP, Hero Girl, just came out. How are you feeling about that?
Really good. It's been a long time coming. It was meant to come out a year ago, but because of the state of the world, it took it took a while. But it feels really good for it to be out, and it feels like the story of Hero Girl for me is more than just this EP. It's a story that has more to give. So it's nice to have the first sort of chapter out and be able to continue expanding on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been really happy. The response has been really, really sweet. Yeah, I feel really lucky.
Was there a process for you on deciding what tracks went on to this EP?
Kind of. I think I remember my manager was like, "Oh, meet me at the studio. It's the studio called Westlake." He's like, "Let's just listen to everything on some big speakers and like figure it out." And we kind of like, it was we have this rule where we try not to overthink stuff.
Yeah.
So just kind of like the gut reaction was like, okay, these songs. The only song that I had to get kind of pressured into putting on the EP, and I'm actually really glad I caved, is Crowded.
Mm-hmm.
At first I thought I did a bad job. I didn't like how I sounded. I thought my lyrics were really lame. Like I just didn't like what I did in this. I want to say what I did. What Simon, the producer and who wrote it with me, did. Everything he did was amazing, but I felt very dissatisfied with what I did. So I didn't want to put it on the EP. And then my manager was like, Raissa, I never tell you what to do, but you're going to put the song on the EP. Like you need to listen to me. I was like, okay, fine, I'll put it on there. And he was like, see, everyone thinks you should put it on there. So I ended up putting it on there, and I'm really glad that I did. So that's kind of how that happened. It was pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah. From
Yeah.
releasing your first ever single to now doing your first EP, have you seen growth in your music?
Oh, for sure. Even now, like I love this EP, but it was meant to come out a year ago. So a lot has,
Yeah.
I've grown so much as an artist. The music that I'm making now is the stuff I'm the most excited about and most excited to put out. And I think that happens to a lot of artists. Like by the time something gets out, you've kind of grown and moved on. But especially with this one because it took so long to get it out. But I think I've grown a lot as an artist. I've grown a lot as a person, and not just musically. Like I've grown a lot musically, but I think even just like my confidence with stuff, I feel a lot more capable in everything that I do because I've just been doing it more. And I've been doing it with people that make me feel really comfortable to ask questions. Because I don't know everything. I don't know everything about producing. I don't know. So working with people where you feel like you can ask a question without feeling dumb, I think is going to be conducive to having a lot more growth. And the people I work with, I can be like, what does this pedal do? I don't know what this pedal does. And then this person who knows what the pedal does, will like explain to me. And it's like in other scenarios, you might feel or you might feel like people will think that you don't know what you're doing because you have questions. But questions are important in order to know what you're doing. So yeah, I've definitely grown so much for sure. Yeah.
Obviously, you just dropped a lot of music, but do you have any future projects or plans that you could tell us about?
Yeah, I'm working on an album right now. That would come after the EP. Don't know when, but yeah, been working on it with friends and it's been good. I'm really excited. It's the best music I've ever made, I think, for sure. Yeah.
This is more of a fun question for you, but if you could choose 3 words to describe yourself and your music, what would they be?
Hopeful, honest, a little bit bratty. Just a little bit.
Not in a bad choices. Do you have an ideal collaboration for your future?
I really want to work with Pharrell. I keep telling people that I'm hoping he'll notice. I don't know how he would, but I really want to work with Pharrell. I love Pharrell.
Yeah.
Pharrell and Chad Hugo, like the Neptunes, but definitely Pharrell. Like both, like as a artist, as a producer, as a writer, I love him so much. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite song at the moment?
Let me go on my Spotify real quick. Do I have a favorite? I think I do. What am I listening to? Oh, funnily enough, look, Quizás, 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 the song that I sang when I was a kid. Okay, I've been loving the Nati Peluso album. She's a Argentinian artist based in Spain, and she has a song called Puro Veneno, which I really love. Or I've been really loving this. I think he's Nigerian artist Rima. He has a song called Ginger Me. I'm listening to Ginger Me a lot. Yeah.
Last question for you. Our website is mostly about like up and coming artists. Do you have anyone that you have your eyes on or that you would recommend to others?
My friend Mia Gladstone, she's amazing. She's amazing. I love her music. She's an independent artist and she produces, writes, she does everything, arranges instruments. She's a superhuman artist. So definitely Mia Gladstone. And then Simone Itzwa, who I don't know her personally. We follow each other on Instagram, but I'm a big fan of hers. One of her songs was my top played song for 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, Driving by Simone Itzwa. So Mia Gladstone and Simone Itzwa.
Well, thank you so much for doing this interview. It was so nice to
Thank you for
talk to you.
having me. No, it was so nice to talk to you. Thank you so much.